Hello everyone, greetings. My name is Louis Bedoy and here to bring you guys another video. This time is how to draw the Hulk step by step. Now first of all, I would like to give thanks to everyone who has been supporting my channel, all those loyal subscribers I've had, and the people who have been watching my videos, so thanks a lot to everyone. Now this is actually my 10th video, so I wanted to make something special, and I didn't find anything more special than actually drawing one of my favorite characters in the Marvel roster, which is the Hulk. And I hope you like it too, so let's start. Now for step 1, what I did is that I started obviously sketching out the face of the Hulk by doing those cross lines. You know what I do usually in my drawings. So that's what I started doing. As you can see now, I'm sketching out the Hulk's head, and then I sketch out his hair. Obviously that's all part of step 1. Now after that, when it came to step 2, I need to add in the neck that will lead up to the muscles, the torso, and the shoulders. So I really started sketching out just all of his neck, and there you can see a line I did just to figure out where I'm going to draw in all the torso, the pecs, the shoulders, the arms. So that's all I needed to do. Obviously I did some lines at the beginning of the drawing, just a little bit of sketch, not perfect, nothing like a real drawing. I just did some lines to remind me where every part of his body is going to go. So yeah, there you have it, step 2. For step 3, what I decided to do is that I went on to start drawing the arms, as you can see here. And well, the arms wasn't that hard actually. It was just like drawing big balls, just doing the right place. Because as you can see now, since this is the first sketch of the drawing, it doesn't have to be that good. So, you know, I just did some big balls in there, just figuring out where they had to go to make it look like a good arm. And you can do it exactly as I did it. It's pretty easy. Then we go on to step number 4. Now for step number 4, what you got to do is drawing obviously his pecs, his chest. And then from the chest go down to the torso. And from the torso I did not draw the abs, because well, I said, well, you know, the abs are kind more of like details, so I'm just gonna draw in some squares in there so I can see where each ab is gonna go. So I just draw in some squares, and obviously the 2 circles, which will be the pec. And as you can see here, we now have our first sketch, our first finished sketch of the Hulk. Is just a 2D sketch, pretty simple. Oh, remember, when I'm drawing that face, I do not draw in the pupil or the iris of the Hulk's eyes. I just leave it in blank as if till now. Then I move on to step number 5. Now in step number 5, it's time for the inking part. Since I did not have any inking markers on my hand right now, I had to come up with something different. So what I came up with is doing it with a pen, with a single pen. Any kind of pen, as long as it's black, it's okay to use it. I did the basic inking of the drawing of his face with a black pen. So yeah, and I had really much fun with it because I think it's pretty much easy. It's way more easy to use than the markers, but obviously the detailing comes up way better with the markers. And this is all part of step 5. Once you have finished that, you will do with a green marker, any kind of green marker, to draw in some highlights, you know, like the cheekbones, like the nose, like the forehead. And then I started drawing some more detailing with a green pencil. And to draw in the rest and to paint the rest of his face, obviously I used a yellow-green pencil, colored pencil, I'm sorry. A yellow-green color pencil to draw in the rest of his face. And as you can see, this gives me a really great detail. Now once I finish that, now it's the time to start coloring the iris and the pupil. And to do that, I only used the pen because I thought the pen was like my inking tool this time, and it was pretty easy. From here, as you can see, I'm using a marker, a number B marker from Prismacolor, and this I used to give some volume to the hair. And after giving volume to it, as you can see, I leave a pretty white highlight in there, and then with the pen to just like shading the hair to make it look like it's actually long and it has a lot of volume in it. And then I add in some details with colored pencils, green and yellow green. And as you can see here, the face is almost finished. Then I'll move on to step number 6. Step number 6 is doing pretty much the same thing. Start inking and start doing the detail. Now is the time to start adding details in the drawing. As you can see here, what I'm doing with the neck, I'm adding all details up in order for it to look amazing. And now as you can see, I'm finishing all the details in his neck. Then obviously the highlights, I do it with some green markers. I already told you, yes, in the face. Then the shadings, I do it with hard green colored pencil, and the rest of the painting I do it with yellow green colored pencil, obviously leaving some white spaces in order to make highlights to the drawing, as you can see right now. And then it's pretty much the same thing for the rest of the body, as you can see now in step number 7. Step number 7 would just be finishing painting the entire body. Do it as I just did with the neck and the face. It's pretty easy. Oh yeah, I forgot one special mention. The chest is something very important in the drawing, and the chest is done pretty much differently, because when it comes to the chest, you must draw in like a really hard shape in the middle of the chest. Right after drawing that really hard shape, what you must do is with your inking pen, you will start inking it down to the top, and after that you can start adding details to the chest. Now that I finished that big shadow all over his chest, I can draw in some more details inside of the chest and down to the muscles and to the shoulders. Obviously, as you can see, I use the same technique I use for the face and the neck, as I'm starting to do some shadings with the green colored pencil and the rest of the painting with yellow green pencil. Obviously, this is just to give me some more highlights and a little more of sequence and volume to his body. As you can see here, I'm almost done. And you just do that to the rest of the drawing, and this is the lines I came up with. This is what I think looks the best. But now I'm starting to do the background. Now the background is pretty easy. The photo, I decided just to do it like a big stage, like a big explosion. But the way I did it was just with some yellow pastel with some orange pastel, just striping it all over. Remember that from the right side of the drawing, it's not going to be that much. It's going to be left mostly white, but from the left side of the drawing, it's got to be more shaded in, because the shade is coming from the left side, and from the right side, it looks like the explosion is blowing up a little more. So that's why I basically did the most of the skies and the build-up of the background in the left side of the drawing, in the left side of the Hulk in this case. Now, as you can see, these meteors or rocks or whatever you want to call them, I'm actually doing them with some black marker, marking them all over, inking them, and after inking them, I use some brown colored pencil just to paint them, and I use my inking pen to give them a little more volume. Remember, the rocks stay the same. You paint the same of them in every rock of the drawing. It doesn't matter if it's not that shaded in from the right side. But after this, it came to a really hard part of the drawing, which was painting that big sun or planet or whatever it is. Yeah, that was one of the hardest parts of it. Now, as you can see here, I'm painting the smoke. I did it with some red colored pastel and with orange colored pastel. Now, the big light there on the planet is basically done with yellow pastel and leaving way more highlights there. It's got to be pretty white in order to make it look like it's an explosion. The planet, I decided to give it the volume with red, leaving some white space in order to give it like a little more sense of touch, like it's a real planet and it has different displays of soil. Now the displays, I did it obviously with my inking pen. It can be any kind of pen. This is one of the lowest cost pens you can ever get. This pen cost me like 25 cents, so you can get this kinds of pens in anywhere. And, I mean, I think your pen from school is better than the pen I used for this drawing, but it doesn't matter. Okay, and this part I'm doing it actually with some blue colored pastel, and then I'm going to shade it in obviously with with a black marker. Oh yeah, from the pastel it looked like the hair from the Hulk started to draw off, and I didn't like the volume it had once the pastel draw into it, so I decided to retouch it with my black marker. So yeah, there you have that. And here I'm giving the final touches. I'm finishing this planet, finishing it with my pen, obviously giving it some detail, some character. You see right now. Remember, if you have any questions, suggestions, things you think might be cool for me to draw or for me to teach you, please leave a comment below. It would pretty help out in this channel. And this is just the final touches. This is just wrapping up the drawing, as you can see right now. There, final touches to the background, rocks, everything. So yeah, oh yeah, and at the end of the drawing I thought it would look cool to make the rocks like spilling blood or something like that. And yeah, here's the final drawing, and I really hope you like it. There's the final piece after all those details I've done in the last part of it. I really hope you like it. If you did, please remember to subscribe to my channel, like the video, comment, and you will really help me out. If you have any suggestions, please leave them below. Remember, I will see you next time on to another tutorial. My name is Luis Bedoy. Goodbye.